the ESPN app. Great to have you with us. Friday Night Duels from Chapel Hill. Sean Kinney alongside Rock Harrison as we move up to 184. C.Lautt making his season debut. He was the ACC champion a year ago, but that was at 174 pounds. He's bumped up to 184. Standing in his way, fourth-ranked Trent Hidlay, the ACC runner-up from a year ago. Hidlay losing to Hunter Boland, and you hear those big clubs. Right on cue, Rock, we were just talking during the commercial break. You can just sense the rivalry with these two teams when they gather in the center ring. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Both of these guys like underhooks, and they both like underhooks to the right side of the body.
Take ground, take ground. Make them wrestle here, make them wrestle.
Lautt has a lot of Greco-Roman wrestling in his background. Greco-Roman all upper body and throw. So you hear Rock talk about the underhooks. That's a big weapon in that style of wrestling.
Right hand's coming high. Feel it, feel it.
What do you think of Lautt moving up to 84? Saw the graphic, the ACC champion from a year ago, and Coleman Scott with some options. It's a good problem to have with Kane and Lautt. Really, the Kane brothers and Lautt all factored in.
You know, when coaches make these decisions, they see something. They see something in the room. They may notice something in the weigh-ins. It's sometimes just a feel. It's just a gut feel. And apparently, Coach Scott feels that Lautt presents a good option for them at 84, even though he's more of a 74-pounder.
Right arm underhook, digging hard for Hidlay. Lautt able to clear it away, and the two make their way back into the center. Halfway through the first period, no score. NC State leading by 6, 7 of 10 matches in the books tonight.
I like to see Lautt try to force his underhook. He has a good underhook as well. So at this point, even though no action is really occurring, it appears that Hidlay is the aggressor. Meaning that I'm showing the official that, hey, official, I'm the one, even though I haven't scored, I am the one that's going at it. And he earned the stall call. So Lautt has a stall call against him because, again, showing the positioning and the aggressiveness of Trent Hidlay.
Left hand's gonna pull his head under.
We saw a little bit of the diversity that Hidlay's been working on last week in his matchup with Harvey Pitt. As he's stepping off the mat, that'll be a point for Hidlay. Another stall call on Lautt, so Hidlay with a 1-0 lead. He went from that under into a single, and that certainly had Pat Popolizio and the staff excited, trying to add more weapons already to a pretty stocked arsenal.
You can post here. Left hand's got to do more work. Left hand's got to work. Left hand's got to work. Left hand's got to work.
You can see that.
Go, Rock. You see Lautt trying to stick that underhook in on that left side.
I feel like he's a little hesitant because he doesn't want to be underneath Trent Hidlay. I'm not to understand. Trent Hidlay, you can see that he looks bigger.
184 pounds, Trent Hidlay stacking up with some of the best. Miles Amin, Hunter Boland, who beat Hidlay in the finals a year ago. Aaron Brooks of Penn State. Miles Amin has been busy this offseason, gearing up for the Olympics or Michigan. Quick escape for Hidlay, goes up 2-0.
Lautt has to show himself, and when I say show himself, he has to at least have a half shot or commit to something, because right now he is blocking. He's blocking the underhook. He's putting his left hand on the inside of his left thigh just to block. And we saw in the first period, Trent Hidlay was controlling it and got 2 stall calls.
Hidlay sinks in low on the single, has the left leg ratcheted up, trying to capture that second. Look for a trip. Hop skipping away is Lautt. Hidlay with all types of time and position. Nicely done by Trent Hidlay in a 4-0 lead.
He slowly worked up for that single. He didn't rush it. He climbed, what we say, climbed the ladder. He started around the ankle, worked up towards the knee. So he's at the ankle, working up towards the knee, and then he gets to the thigh, and then comes around to earn the takedown. Good fundamental wrestling right there.
Forward, step on the foot. Forward, forward, keep inching.
NC State hosted the RTC Cup earlier this year during the offseason, and Pat Popolizio really a point of emphasis to try to keep his wrestlers sharp. And interestingly enough, Hidlay met up with Amin, and it was Hidlay who got the better of Miles Amin in that RTC Cup. It was a great weekend stretch for Trent Hidlay. He went 5-0. Since that time, as we documented last Friday night, he was a bit under the weather not that long ago, less than a month ago. He had an emergency appendectomy. That took him out of service for a couple of weeks, but they have ushered him back, and he's full force. We asked Pat Popolizio. He wrestled a guy in Greg Harvey last week who has a nonstop motor, and Hidlay looked like he was in mid-season form as far as conditioning goes. And wrestler really ready to go deep into the NCAAs. Complete package.
You can see as a team that NC State has put an emphasis on their top work. Not just riding, but working. There's a difference between just riding and following, but working to get what's called a near fall or putting someone on their back. And you can see that Pat Popolizio has tried to emphasize that with his wrestlers.
How will these teams handle the peaking phase of a season? For anybody who follows the sport of wrestling, you know, it's critical, and this is where the skill of the coaching staffs come in to make sure your guys are peaking at the right time, which is traditionally you're into February and, of course, mid-March time, and when you're missing the Midlands and the Keene and the Southern Scuffle, and a lot of these guys from North Carolina wrestling in just their first or second match, how do you pace that peaking part?
That is something that they're all trying to figure out across the country. No one has an idea. For some people, it's pretty good to have a shorter season because some of the kids don't get worn out. But then others, they get stronger as the season comes on. So this is where the coaches earn their big paychecks by figuring out to get their guys to peak at the right time.
You know, and there's a lot of coaches to kind of ping ideas around when you look at Coleman Scott and Pat Popolizio and that rich Oklahoma State tradition. Both Popolizio and Scott wrestled for John Smith in Stillwater, and the high number of former Cowboy wrestlers who are now head coaches at the Division I ranks. And both these guys said, yeah, we reach out to John quite frequently. I think it was Coleman said, I talk to him every couple of weeks. Popolizio even said John has called him on a couple of occasions to bang around ideas. It's a tight frat among that former Cowboy group of wrestlers, and even though they're fierce competitors in opposite corners tonight, a lot of respect between these two head coaches and what they have done with these programs.
We saw something right there with oh boy. Looks like something happened here.
Like so we're going to see the wrong end of a forearm there, Hidlay.
So there wasn't necessarily an injury time. It was the referee say it's my time, and at that point with it's my time, he just said, look, no one was injured, just, you know, someone got banged up for a quick second.
C.Lautt having a tough time figuring out the defense of Trent Hidlay. 4-1, Hidlay with riding time as well.
You know, I'd like to see Clay, you know, just open up his offense just a little bit, you know. Right here, it's been on the back a little bit, you know, kind of defending more than attacking. And I know that's what Coach Scott wants. He says, I want to see my guys attack.
You're okay, wrestle behind it. Grab your own arm. Center. Work center. Hey, one good. Good one.
Hidlay circles back into the center. He knows he's in a good position. North Carolina State ready to tack on 3 additional points. They'll go up 9 with 2 weight classes remaining. Here's a late shot by Hidlay. Switched it to a double. Lautt backpedaling and out of bounds they go. And that should be it. The Hidlay brothers taking care